What's good, YouTube? It's your man Ronan, back in the building again. You already know the deal. Use the code Ronan10 as your passport to the A-game lifestyle. Helps with your vitality, energy, focus, and libido, among other things. But you know how it is. Much love to the A-game family. Salute to A-game Nation. And hope that everyone's having a great day. Want to send a salute to the new subscribers. Welcome to the channel. As usual, you guys got any questions, concerns, gripes, whatnot, you can hit me up at genuinearticle75@gmail.com. And, you know, usual, like, click, share, subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you know when new content comes out. And I had something on my mind for a while, but you know what? It's a good time to speak on it. I just want to ask an honest question. Are you edu-tarded? Just let that marinate for a second. But I'll ask it again. Are you edu-tarded? Well, what does that mean? In this society, especially in our community of ethnic outposts, unfortunately, you have individuals who have this unnecessary bravado or arrogance when they add letters to their name, or they went to this institution, or they went to this group, and they feel that they know more than other people, and either they look down on people or they use their education to browbeat and berate people. But when you talk to them further, you start to see gaping holes or fissures in their so-called education. Now, I think it's a JOHN4040 asked me a question about 2 months ago, I think, and I apologize for not getting back to you, but he asked, what is the difference between common sense and I think it's street sense, something to that effect. I'm paraphrasing. And this falls into this conversation. There's three types of sense, at least, that we talk about the most. We talk about common sense, street sense, and book sense. So, are you book smart but spiritually flaccid? Or morally stunted? It takes much more than reading a book or knowing how to move around the block or just simple common sense things to deem yourself educated. See, what we try to do is get a healthy balance of all three and then some. See, if men are to fully assess not just the women but themselves and their peers using the 3 T's or looking out for the 4 T's and the 4 P's. If we're looking to do all that, you have to be well versed in your understanding of the world. Now, granted, there's some brothers out there who are looking to travel abroad. Now, some legit are looking to broaden their influence, you know, talk about things as far as like international business, understanding the different languages, possibly speaking and getting paid for learning different languages. But there are some who come with an ultra linear focus. They're looking to replicate over there what they can't get here, and that's a path to disaster. Now, I'm not here to dick police, but here's the thing. We do need checks and balances. Because having been overseas, I got a better understanding of myself. I learned, number one, the world is much bigger than I thought. Number two, it's best that I learn not just the language to an extent to communicate effectively, learn some of the history, and start understanding why certain people do what they do. You start learning different body language cues. Certain things you can do over here, you can't do over there. Some things that are cool over here will get your ass beat, or even worse, over there. Certain slang. Now, let's talk about this whole thing about street sense. You can do what you need to do, about how, move those things and whatnot. But it does pay to read more books than just the common ones. You start fleshing out your awareness, not just of your immediate area, but the world abroad. Like, you must start learning about how can I get off from this position to a better position, to where I don't have to compromise any of the 10 life values any further. Now, with common sense, we have the regimented lames who want to commit to pissing and moaning about the same old things, which we've seen in this space, unfortunately. Now, my thing is, when I hear individuals who constantly bemoan past traumas that they need to address, or coming up with weather-beaten talking points instead of being forward progress about these situations, becoming problem solvers, not just for themselves, but those their junior and their peers. That shows me those individuals are edu-tarded. They know enough to get around, but they're not willing to increase their knowledge or even understanding of things in order to solve the problem. See, with Big Pharma, the money's in the medicine. And unfortunately, in this space and similar ones like it, the money's in the mediocrity. There's a benefit in sitting around and continuously wasting time, resources, and energy and focus on the wrong things. You have individuals worried about social media. And I'm talking about the low end. We're talking about the hood booger section of social media, rather than setting the trends. Because you already know Hollywood and similar forms of media, they've read out ideas, so that's why they're setting their focus over here. And if we're not careful, creatively, we'll be gentrified from this space, if not worse. But as far as the Black manosphere, we're looking to rectify that foolishness. I understand that I don't know everything. I understand that to become a better man, I can't do this alone. There will be those, my peers, my seniors, and some of my junior, who will have a great deal of insight that I need to look within myself to order to correct and propel myself forward. That's with anybody. But when you're edu-tarded, you think you know everything. You think you've been to this institution and you figure out, you know what? I know this, this, and this. You didn't do what I do, so I'm not trying to hear it. They become tone deaf. And they sit in these little goofy echo chambers. Not only will they have stale conversations, but stale air. And after a while, you start blacking out. And you can take that how you want. Now, when we hear a woman say, I'm strong and independent, that screams I'm edu-tarded. See, you got individuals who sit there and say, I am the table. But again, would you eat on a rickety-ass table or even conduct business on it? A table is meant to be sturdy, to be effective. And why would you want to operate a table or do your homework on the back of a pickup truck during a dirt road, a excite bike track? Sounds extra stupid. Now, granted, it might be exciting for you to rollerblade down a concrete stairwell, but again, I don't have to have a college degree nor have letters on my name to understand that that is dumb as shit. But some people need to learn by, getting up with a back brace and basically every bone in their body cracked. But some are willing to do it again several months later. To be edu-tarded is to rally against self-improvement only to sit back and bitch about something, to buy into the illusion of content, which is nothing more than publicized conflict and monetizing mediocrity. To be edu-tarded is to sit in your trauma, knowing what you need to do, but being outright crippled by hubris and ego, to not look into yourself and unfuck yourself, so that way you could prevent those similar situations from happening. To be edu-tarded is to be an individual who busts his ass 60, 80 hours and use all the resources that he's well earned, and basically trying to buy, rent, and lease peace of mind, respect, or even at least poorly attempt to turn his house into a home, which never effectively happens. Edu-tarded is individuals who feel they have to create an online or offline persona to be accepted by people, until they find out when they look in the mirror, just as that person does, they see the same very thing looking back at them, a complete stranger. There are many examples that I welcome my peers to add in the chat room or whatever, or in the comment section. But here's the thing, when I say this in closing: to be edu-tarded is to be open and accepting of your limited position at the time being and trying to justify it. It's a paralyzing condition of choice. What I propose is a lot of us to look within ourselves, look amongst each other, fully assess every situation we're in. And if you're looking to be better, if you're sick and tired of being sick and tired of complaining, then it would behoove you to educate yourself to where you're at, really orientate yourself to where you're at. If you're ready and hungry for a difference, seek after it. Hell, never be above to ask questions or ask for help. There are people here for that. That's what this space is for. Now, granted, we do have some squatters here and there, some who are about, rugged individualism in a group space, but time will tell how their fate pans out. But in this space, we're going to be about constructive criticism as well as constructive reconstruction, to where we start becoming better men and women. Since we have the women here now, this is an opportunity to learn how to be cool under pressure, how to perform in front of a live audience in real time. Now, meanwhile, this is on-the-job training. It's important for us to get right as men, because, again, we're kinetic. We have the power to give the middle finger to the current environment and shift it into our liking. However, I do understand that some are fearful of success, because that comes with a criteria that some of us feel that we're not qualified for. Well, you have to address that interpersonally, because being how I'm made mentally, even though I am challenged by some people closest to me, whatever, I have that resilient spirit. That's something I do know. I've gotten into trouble for using that rebellious spirit in the wrong way, but in a constructive fashion, you can't stop me, you can't tell me shit. So what I'm encouraging my peers is, let us use this space constructively. Not just online, but offline, where we start putting in the work, where we start looking into what we need as far as our spirituality, our health, our family, our appearance, our dwelling, our mobility, our education, profession, and leisure. And by then, shout out to the Crimson Cure for saying this, the doors of wealth will be open to you. Throw off the shackles of instant gratification. We're not just talking about monetarily. We're talking about silly old things like excuses and justifications for said excuses. I know I gotta go training in about an hour or so, but the thing is, I'm committed to the process. I know I have a difficulty making the gains I need, so I'm going to do the homework in order to get what I've been asking for. So even with the sessions are cool, I'm gonna find ways to get what I've been looking to see, because aside from diet, maybe I need to push myself harder with extra effort, with something minor but something constructive. Not just physically, but every aspect in general. As far as being educated in a sense. We need to start looking as far as like, do you know how to deliver CPR to your peers? So if you're talking about the 4 P's, do you know how to defend yourself? Some of these people out here, their hands are terrible. If you know at least the minimum of boxing, you're about head and shoulders more than other people. Are you up to speed with your health? Do you know what the hell's going on with you? Things like that and many other things that we need to start asking ourselves and each other what's going on. And that's why I say the wellness check, not just say how you doing, hi, bye, and keep it pushing. We start really, if you really care about these individuals or you want to see something great within them, you start really seeing what's going on with them and be honest with them. Even if they sit there and fight it, give them something to think about. You know what? I need to look into that. Because they might not want to hear it, but internally it'll bother them to where, you know what? I'll go check it out just to see. You help those who want to be helped. Otherwise, you do what you can. You can't save everybody, but do understand you can never allow your comfort zone to become your coffin. With that, I'll say much love to my fellow veterans, Semper Fi, and my peers out there. Just let's do what we can to stop being edu-tarded, because that is a liability that has crippled and hindered us as men and women for far too long. I want to send a shout out to the A-Game Renaissance because it is here. Peace.